Alrighty. I am I'm going to I'm going to skip on the music today. The reason being is that YouTube and their wonderful algorithms that do what they do marked my last video as having a copyright on it. I didn't get a strike for it, but I still got a message from YouTube over it. Um, and the music that I use to stream is specifically an app for streamers to use, and it has a button on it that says YouTube safe. The whole point is all of that music is supposed to be okay to be able to use on a stream, and I still get messages from YouTube. So you guys are gonna have to deal with the no no music in the background today. Um, Hello, Black Chicken. Hello, everybody else in the chats. Excited to be here. Is it 10 o'clock yet? I think it's after 10, isn't it? 10:03. Getting there. I want to pull up the questions. Yeah, we all love YouTube's AI. Yeah, it's amazing. It does really well at not doing the things that it would do well and doing other stuff that we don't need. But hey, we're not here for YouTube. We're here for GraphLinq. I hope you guys like my hat. My sister got it for me for Christmas. It is quite comfy. I feel like we could use a GraphLinq one. Would be kind of cool, right? Um, Let me pull up the questions that were submitted. So while I'm doing that, I just will say that if you haven't already, it is worth checking out the video from last week. Or for it's bi-monthly, so it's whenever the last one was about 2 weeks ago. If not, I will just say as a quick recap from the week, 2 weeks before. Basically, it was our first stream, and it was kind of just getting a feel for how this is going to go. The biggest thing was just really the information about the blockchain getting passed along. So most of those questions are answered in that last video. And I mean, the other thing too is like honestly, I really feel like I am getting into a routine with doing this, and we're all at the same time, everyone here, we're kind of getting into the flow of doing this together. It is kind of a new thing for all of us. I don't think scheduling these right before and right after the holidays and the new year was the best idea, but I think that kind of gave a little bit of a chance for us to kind of get used to doing this, and I expect more people maybe the next time around, because at that point I'm sure things are going to pick back up in the chat again. Thank you for the follow on uh, Twitch. Sorry, coffee is still kicking in. Let me dive in. I don't want to ramble on too long. Because honestly, I could stream for the entire day if I really wanted to. I'm gonna really quickly go through the questions that were in here, and get through that. Like I said, most of the other stuff was answered in the previous video, and the biggest thing is the New Year's here. It's time for all of us to really kind of kick back into full gear. You're out of milk, no coffee for you. I don't put milk or sugar. I drink my coffee black. That was the way it was intended to be drank. I'm just kidding. But I do drink my coffee black though. Um, so yeah, the only thing I will say is the new year's here. Everybody that was traveling, some of us, including myself, were traveling and had family over and tons of, things going on for the past 2 weeks where every time I sat down to try to start working, I ended up having to leave or I had people coming in the door. And, you know, I'm a regular person just like the rest of you, and I have family and obligations and things. And, that's why the last couple of weeks the chat's been a little quiet. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good thing for especially developers and people who deal with that's not disgusting. Are you kidding? That is the way that coffee. How can you say that drinking coffee black is disgusting? I appreciate a good coffee. So yeah, so everybody's back. We're all getting back into the groove of things, and good things are going to be coming in 2022. Um, you know, we're just getting back to that. That's where we're all kind of at the moment. So I'm gonna read through these questions. Let me hit see them as printed responses. I thought about uh, wording them a little bit differently compared to the way that some of these were written, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to read them as they are because it gives me an opportunity to respond to them. First question posed: What? Actually, I am going to change the way some are written to correct it, to make it so I can say it. What is the vision of the analytics branch? How are we going to approach this vision? So analytics was what I had originally started working on, and now that my role has kind of broadened, I do actually have a lot of work that I did on the analytics that I just haven't made live yet. And the goal really is to continue to keep integrating with our partners. And for me personally, I would like to see the analytics turn into something that can really be used for decision making in terms of its ability to capture real live time, real live data through basically graphs that are powering it. The analytics really is the first real example of an app being powered by GraphLinq in some ways. The other feedback on this one is more educational content. Many of us don't have a coding background. So I spoke about this last week. That is what Alex is going to be helping with because he is not a coder. And our goal is to create not only better documentation, not only an easier to use interface, but our longer term goal is to create a learning platform that would allow us to help walk people through. So YouTube videos are great. We're definitely going to do YouTube videos, obviously. But in YouTube videos, it's one topic and, you kind of have to find it if it exists about that topic and watch the video. And, our goal is longer term besides just videos is to work on creating something that would allow more of a structured educational, how do I create graphs with, start to finish kind of all the way through with like creating graphs and helping walk through the process. So yes, that whole section is on our list of to-dos. Next question: Can we turn off stickers in the Telegram group, the official Telegram group? It's spamming the chat right now. Can we make a block that interacts with smart contracts on the Binance Smart Chain, tracking events of new transactions from a specific contract Web3 in Python. Hmm. Um, the answer is, can we turn off stickers in the official Telegram group? Yes, we could. I don't think we're going to. Um, I will admit that every once in a while, people, because you know what? If you turn off stickers, people will find another way to do it. If they're not going to use stickers, they'll just use the, the forward slash command where everyone clicks on it, or they'll just use emojis. Like, you can't try to control other people. There's only so much you can control in life. Sometimes you gotta just realize what you have control over. So in terms of smart contracts and integration, that is definitely something we are working towards making even better. Um, and I think, yeah, that's from uh, we spoke in the developer chat. So that is definitely something we're looking to get into. Obviously, we have a couple things in the beginning of the year to get off the plate. So I'm going to come back to that. Can we develop our own IDE blocks in the future? You always could develop your own IDE blocks. The graph the GraphLinq IDE code is available in GitHub, and you can go ahead and download it. Um, However, it requires some coding knowledge to be able to do it. Um, but it is possible. Before I started even working at GraphLinq, I actually had submitted blocks for pushover to the IDE. So yeah, the repo's there if you're looking to go through it, and then if not in the future, I think that moving towards once we get a lot of the core functionality done and everything's kind of up to speed, we're really going to see the ability to open up voting for which blocks and integration should be done next. I mean, obviously the core ones that are related to partners and that we all really want, those need to get done first. But in the future, we definitely will see some voting. I think that is going to be part of where we move towards. Can we sign up for notification letter messages of what parts of the documents are updated? So the easiest way to do that is if you go into GitHub and go to the documentation repository. Up at the top right, you do have to be signed in. Up at the top right is a button that says watching or watch, and you can subscribe to alerts to that repository or any of them, and you will get notified when code changes are pushed to them. In terms of more of like a newsletter style, it is my intention to try to communicate any changes that get done out to the community, including doing it in a blog post, which I've been somewhat good at doing so far, doing that in a uh, Twitter post, putting that in the Telegram. I've been much more active than I was before my role changed. So I'm trying to get into that. It's just it takes a little bit of time, and my goal is to absolutely communicate everything that we're getting done out to people. Can you publish a list of ambassadors of GraphLinq? Uh, that list is the list that I had of people who applied. A lot of those people um, either haven't been very active in chat, or some of them I have not heard from. And then there's others who are in there every day and are asking what can we do, and are coming up with ideas and are posting things. So in terms of putting a list together, I think what I first need to do is get some organization with the ambassadors and really find out who's really in, who's really going to do some stuff. And once that is happening, I wouldn't mind giving those people a title in the Telegram chat so that they have a little thing next to their name that says who they are. Um, and yeah, I, the ambassador, again, a lot of these things I started trying to do were in mid December, and it was really difficult to get things moving so close to the holidays. So now that we're in the new year, I really think that things are going to kick off and start moving a little bit quicker. Um, Step by step, we're getting there. Keep up the hard and good work. Appreciate that. And I appreciate you being in the dev chat and asking good questions and keeping that conversation there in the dev chat. Uh, it's a great place for people who are trying to get away from the price talk and the other stuff and want to talk about actual using the platform. And it's great to keep that in there. Mm, why has the CMO, CEO not really been on Telegram lately? What happened to them? So I can say that a lot of us were all traveling and dealing with holidays during the past few weeks, and I hope to see that change in the future going forward. Um, and also, at the end of the day, at least in terms for Frederick, you know, it's nice that he is here and he talks so much, but I mean, he really doesn't need to be here 24 hours a day. Um, and I'm sure he'll be a little bit more active now as things start to kind of kick back in. I don't know about you guys, but every year, and maybe it's just what I do, but every year I've noticed that going into December as a developer, as a coder, as all the things I've ever done, even running my own business, things slow down. Things always kind of slow down, and all the big things kind of, don't. And then all of a sudden it kicks back up in the new year. So I wouldn't be surprised if things get back on to a little bit more like the way they were going forward. And that's just been my experience all around, is that it's like that. Still appreciate you, G Root. You're the reason why I'm still holding. That's scary. No, I'm just kidding. What's next for the marketplace? Let me read this as it was written. What's the next since the marketplace failed and no one interested? So I don't think that the marketplace failed. I think, like anything, it was a learning opportunity. I think that there are no failures when it comes to technology and coding and development. I think what this highlighted more than anything is that uh, the need for a the need for two things. The first is the better documentation, education, and all that, and then the second part is a need for us to work with people who are developers, people who are the real core people who would use this platform and then make graphs for other people. And we don't have too many people like that floating around. And part of the longer term goal that I spoke about on the last stream is that I'm in touch with some people, and the goal would be to, make it so that they feel comfortable using and talking about the platform and have them start developing on it. I think would be pretty awesome to have some decent sized names talk about how they use GraphLinq, and especially because they're a little bit more on the programming side, they can talk to their community and be able to talk in really technical terms about how what they're doing and how it would be done technically. It's difficult for us to talk about that because the whole idea is we try not to. Um, What about GLQ app is still working on? GLQ app. I don't. I wonder if you're talking about the mobile app. Basically, the goal behind that is to allow you to be able to just manage your graph states and other stuff because you do have to log in with your wallet, so it's uh, for now, I think that the priorities are going to be the blockchain and some of the documentation, all the other things that I have on my list that I'm working on. I have not even looked at what's going on with the app. Somebody else is working on that. I have not gotten around to looking at that yet, to be honest. I just have way too much going on at the moment. So that's all that was in there for the questions. Um, let's see what we have for some feedback. That was the feedback. That was that. Okay, cool. So that is everything that was in there. Um, hello to you, and hello to you too. Um, I guess I'm willing to wrap this up and keep this short because, like I said, the things are going to pick up after now that we're into the new year. And I don't want to ramble because I am really good at talking for a really long time. Let's see, it's 10:23, so I'll go a couple more minutes, make it a half hour. Um, let's see. The biggest thing going on right now, GraphLinq, is obviously the blockchain and rolling that up into being able to start doing what it's supposed to do. Mm, this coffee is really, really good. And eventually, I will put out a request for some people who would be interested in running a test net with us and getting that part of it going. I would love to see. Black Chicken is seriously the biggest troll. He comes into all my videos though, which is great, but he's just such a troll in my chat. He said no, it isn't in terms of my coffee being fantastic. That's because it is black with no sugar. Um, so yeah, so eventually I would like to start getting some people who are interested in running a node and getting them set up and going through that process. It's not difficult to set up. It's no different than most other nodes that people have ran. So if you've done it before, it's basically the same thing. Um, but yeah, that would probably be one of the next things to expect in the near future. We're still targeting to try to get it out before the end of Q1. Um, and also the other thing that I'm working on, and I'm actually really I have to admit that I'm slacking on just because of the holidays and everything else that's going on, is we are ready to go with like I said in the last video, it's like three partnerships, but all of which will have integrations into the platform, and then also will have will message out to their community that they're partnered with us, so that should get some good traction. Greetings from Luxembourg. Hello to you. What are some of the visions for large scale adoption at the moment? So, I think in terms of large scale adoption, we're shooting to try to do uh, my thoughts of getting a code is people who are coders to get into using the platform. Um, but our large scale adoption also kind of is interestingly done through the partnership back channel, if you will, because the analytics and the integration of a partner also leads to some ideas for larger scale adoption because we would get a whole other community's project to be using the platform, even if it's not them using it where their users are coming into the IDE to use it, it would still be driven by GraphLinq on the back end. And that kind of is, we really are coming at this from every angle we possibly can because there's a lot of angles. Um, yeah, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, we're always open to options and suggestions on this stuff, and that's why we're having these chats. And anyone's, more than welcome to write in some stuff and we can discuss. And I think that also the ambassador program, I think we're really gonna have some discussions about in terms of like attracting and retaining people. So I mean, I'm open to anything. Uh, but yeah, no, those are good questions because it's been, the whole thing is it's been a learning experience, not in terms of doing this kind of stuff, but just, you never really know what is going to happen or how things are going to function until you push them out and use them. Um, and you learn from that and you adapt and you do better next time, and that's pretty much you did apply. Oh yeah, you're just so trolling me in my chat all the time. um yeah, anybody who's still interested in doing the ambassador program, which does have bounty rewards, you can just say so in the chat, and we will get you into the room that we are chatting in Telegram, where we're all getting ready to go and figuring out what we're gonna do. If you haven't already, I'm gonna say this without sounding like such a YouTuber, because I'm not. If you haven't already, if you could do the usual pressing the buttons below the video that indicate whether or not you appreciate this content or not. I'm trying so hard not to say smash that like button. God, I hate that. Um, you know what? I did not get your application, KFC. So I don't know what happened. But just message me and remind me, and I'll bring you into the chat. Um, why no sugar in coffee? Because coffee was made to be drank as coffee. Why coffee? That too. Uh, because he's a psychopath. Oh boy. Um, and yeah, roadmap also is scheduled. We need to get that out. And some updates to the platform are being done. Some grammar changes and wording changes have been done and are getting pushed out, and more are to come. Um, yeah, I really feel like, yeah, solid 30 minutes. I feel like next time we do this, I will have a lot more to share and will really be, um, I think I'm going to put together a topic list of what's covered and kind of have it so that we constantly keep following up on whatever items are on there. And listen, find me in the chat on Telegram. I'm in the Discord too. And I appreciate everybody being a part of GraphLinq. And I'm looking forward to an awesome 2020. And I will see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good Sunday. Enjoy. Drink your coffee, especially black.